Hi everyone, welcome to Petra's Happy Place. Today I would like to take a few minutes to examine a couple things with you. One being the storage of yarn. Where do you put your yarn? The next question is, what do you do with all of your patterns? What do you do with those? Do you even have any? So I'm starting over here. I'm going to back up a little bit. Now, I know it looks like I've got a lot of yarn, and yeah, I do. Now, this is just this one baker's rack that I have, and see those bottom, four. Ooh, wait a minute. That shouldn't be there. Okay, so those bottom four are basically just stash, okay? Those are all my scrap yarns, except for what's in here is just, that's my crochet thread. I have more, but it just doesn't fit in there. Okay, so I got a question about yarn storage and where you store yours. Now, I'm going to show you, this is going to be really quick. I gave an in-depth tour earlier on one of my other channels. If I remember, I'll try to post it in the cards. But right now, this is my yarn storage. I've got a little bit of those are some finished projects and projects that I'm working on. And now I'm going to go over here. That's a huge project I'm working on right there. Okay, and then this is yarn stash over here. Okay, and that's a lot of yarn. Okay, I know, you don't have to tell me. I'm a little bit of a hoarder, but that's not the point. I have set aside part of my bedroom. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm not going to show you the mess because obviously it's a mess. And so, see, it's just a part. There's the door right there for the bathroom, but you know, it's just a little area in my bedroom. It's just a small little space that I have set aside for my yarn stash. Now I'm going to hold it up here for just a second because I want to talk about a couple things here. Let me go to some of my notes. So, questions. Here's some questions to ask when you start thinking about yarn storage, okay? First question is, where do you want to store it? Okay? Do you have a specific place that you're wanting to put your yarn? Okay? Is it in a certain room? I'm coming back over. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make anybody sick. How about I do this? I'm just going to focus on this for just a second while I'm reading the questions, okay? Where do you want to store it? Where will you be working with it? Okay, will you be working in your bedroom or in the kitchen or in a den or in a living room, or will you just mainly be doing it outside the house? Maybe you are away from home a lot and you're going to be needing to take it places with you, so you need a lot of storage bags and totes and things like that. Okay, so next question is, that feeds right off of that other question. Do you want your storage to be static, meaning it just stays there and stays there, or does it have to be mobile? Does it have to be in a certain place, different places at different times? I'm going to show you what I found. Now, I found this little cart right here. I found this at Walmart, okay? You can find it anywhere anymore. I think IKEA gave them the idea. But if you need a mobile unit to go from one room to another, how about that? If you can handle that. If not, find yourself a nice big bag, or better yet, make yourself a huge basket using yarn, okay? So, let's come back over here. You notice that all my yarn is exposed, okay? For the most part. Now, I'm going to come over here so you can see most of it is exposed, except for, you know, things that are in a bin, okay? Now this has all of my cotton yarn. This is all 100% cotton yarn, things that I haven't used yet that I eventually am going to use, okay? But so that is all kind of like halfway covered. Now, do you have pets? Are you needing to keep it stored in an airtight or dust-free zone, basically? Well, I got an idea. If you don't have space, or maybe you have just an old bookcase, say something like this, you can pick a bookcase up at Walmart for under, I think you can find them for $50, $60 for a tall bookcase like this. And let me tell you, you can store a lot of yarn. I'm not using it as wisely as I could, okay? I can store a whole lot more yarn on there if I didn't have, you know, some of my finished projects there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this around and I'm going to show you something. Here is some plastic bags. Now, this one, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I had gotten some sheets. Well, actually, Mama got some sheets, and she gave me the little bag. I said, I'll take that. So, watch this. I'm going to put that down for a second. I'm so sorry. I know, like I said, I'm trying not to make y'all sick. But take a look here. Let's say I have this feels like butter yarn, okay? I don't want this to have dog hair and cat hair all over, and I certainly don't want them chewing on it. So, now let's see if I can do this with one hand and keep it focused. Okay, I can't zip it up, but you can fit 2 of those in there, okay? Now, those are some big honking skeins, okay? If you used a regular, let's say if you used a regular skein of yarn here, say something like this, it's just Red Heart Soft. I could probably squeeze 3 of these into this little bag, okay? So that is an option. Finding some of these, or just, you know, let people know that you're collecting bags or you're needing plastic, those clear plastic bags. Who knows? You might be able to find them. You might even be able to find some of these like at a Goodwill. Maybe they've got a Goodwill and they've just put, you know, stuff in them. But anyway, there's something like that. You might even be able to find something similar to it like at a dollar store, okay? So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to grab some more yarn here. I'm going to just grab a couple because I'm going to do something else now. I have a big 2-gallon hefty bag. There's, I think, 10 come in a box for a couple dollars. I'm not quite sure how much they were, but they're jumbo. You see that? They're jumbo. And they don't have many in the stores, but you can find them. Now, watch here. Okay, I'm going to have to set this down for just a second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So, there we go. You can fit 3. I could fit another one here on top, and I could fit another one, maybe 2 here on the side. And if you squeeze all of the air out of it, oh, that would keep nice. And then you take your bag and you can lay it down on your shelf, and you could fit so much more on your shelf. and it would be airtight. Oh, well, no, that's a lie. It won't be airtight, but it will certainly keep the hair off of your yarns, okay? So another option, if you need something that where your yarn is encased in something, how about those under the bed storage things? You could use one of those, okay? Now, granted, you wouldn't be able to see them because they were under your bed, but you could do that. Now, I'm going to stay on the floor here and, oop, okay, hold on a minute. Mr. Happy does things that don't make me very happy. Okay, now, you see this? I've got my shoes in it right now. But one shoe thing fits one skein of yarn. Now, I have used these in the past for yarn storage. The only thing is that if you do use something like this for your yarn, you need to have a place to hang it, okay? So if you don't have a place, now see, I've got it hanging on one of those over the door hangers, but you could do something like that. And if you put it in a closet of some sort, then you could actually use the back sides too, okay? So that is an option. Now, if you have a closet, now I am not going to open up my closet door because no telling what'll fall out. But if you do have a closet, oh my goodness, the options are limitless. You don't have to have a large closet in order to put your yarns. You can have, if you have a place to put sweaters or anything like that, maybe you could get some of these smaller cubes. They sell these cubes at Walmart for like $5 or $6, and you can even find short ones for $1 at the Dollar Tree. I mean, you could find those things all over the place anymore. So you can use your imagination, and I bet you could come up with a variety of things. They do have for a little bit more. Now, granted, some of these things you can find other places. I'm just telling you, giving you some options. They have these crates at Walmart, and they have them at other craft stores. I think they have them at Michael's, and I think I saw them at Hobby Lobby. But you can buy some of those and do a unit like I have over here. You see, I've just basically stacked them, okay? You can stack them any way you want. Now, they are expensive. They're like $13 for one. But if you look around like I did, I found some of those exact same crates. In fact, they're a little bit bigger. They were in fair shape, okay? They weren't in the best of shape, but I sanded them up, wiped them down. There you go. I got them for 1/3 of the price is what you would pay at Walmart. And you could paint them, you could stain them, you can do whatever you like, right? Okay, so there's a couple of ideas for yarn. Now, some yarn, and I will show you this, some yarn, when it comes to you, it comes in bags already, and they're clear so you can see them. That's how this is my shawl in a ball, okay? That's what that is. And they came in those plastic packages, so you can keep them in there, okay? So I just happen to store my yarn by color, especially if the worsted weight is all by color. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to scooch over here because I want to show you something over here. Now we're going to talk about patterns, okay? Now, years and years and years ago, I would get all of these little, they're leaflets, okay? And you find them at any store. In fact, if you go, I would venture to guess that if you go to any Goodwill or thrift store, you will find these a dime a dozen. I found this I don't remember, and I don't even remember what I did with the first one, and so I bought a second one, and guess what? I did find the next one, wouldn't you know? But then some people have these magazines. Now, I bought these magazine holders. They fit right nice. Look at that. How pretty is that? Okay, and you could even sort them, you know, have one be all of your leaflets and the other one your magazines. Yeah, you do however you like. Okay, now the other thing too is I print. Oh my goodness, I've printed so many free ones. I have 2 binders full. Okay, let me move this. 2 binders full. This one is so full. I got a different one. I need to transfer all of these into here. Okay, but I'm going to pull this one out and show you something. Okay, I'm going to go over here, lay it on top here. So here I have in this particular binder all of my wearables, and these page protectors are in here, and after I print it out, I just slip it in. Okay, how cool is that? Now these dividers are not big enough, so I have to end up putting a little post-it note here at the top, writing down what is it. So here I have all the clothing, which is mostly tops, and I think I have a skirt or two. Okay, and they're all that I printed out. Now, they were free, and that's why I printed them out. Doesn't mean I'm going to be using all of them, okay? There's Jeannie's, okay? That's the one that I did work on. So, anyway, next section I have is sweaters. And here's some vests and some different, different kind of sweaters. And then I have a section for wraps and shawls. Now, here, if a ball of yarn or skein of yarn has a pattern on it that you want to use, keep it, okay? Keep it and just stick it in one of these little things, and then you'll have it for later, okay? So you need to keep those. And these, I found at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. There's those free little things, and you just take them off. There's the hole that it's on, and you just take it off, okay? And then you got the instructions on the back. So, yeah, so that's how I've done this. This is all the wearables, like I said. And I also have this one here that is everything else. I'll have baby clothes, and I'll have all of the Afghans and toys, and what else do I have? Hats and scarves. Here's some of the things. I don't know if you can see. Blankets, bags and purses, okay? So I have lots of different, even one for pets, like pet beds and things like that. So that's something you could do. Now I also have some books, obviously, and I use post-it notes sticky notes for everything, okay? And then I've got other crochet books. And so that is an awesome way to collect your patterns. I'm going to go back over here because there's something I want to show you. So let's say I am making this Harlequin shawl. Now, like I said, it's not in color. But let's say I want to make this, but when I'm looking at here, all these measurements and all this stuff, the materials, let's say I don't use this. Let's say I use something else. Well, instead of pulling this out, how about you just take a dry erase marker and write on here. I used the contrast color of a burgundy instead. Just a thought, And then let's say I had, here's a good one. Let's just say, here it says V-stitch. A V-stitch equals double crochet chain, one double excuse me, I'm so sorry, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the indicated stitch or space. And let's say you just happen to learn what that looks like on a graph, okay? I'm not gonna confuse you here, I promise. Okay. Okay. Where's a V-stitch? Just need a plain V-stitch, people. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to show you this for an instance. All right, this is this crochet stitch Bible. And I don't think I'm going to be doing anything wrong here. But here's the actual, what it looks like when it's all done up. This is written out. You see how it does? It writes it all out. But really lightly in this pink color, it shows what this says. Okay? Now, a lot of people find this very helpful, and I'm going really long here, and I apologize. I'm going to cut this off here. But this basically is, it shows this is one, okay, see here it says chain 1 single crochet and second chain from the hook, and 1 single crochet in each chain to end and then turn. That's basically what this says. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I'm counting those little ovals there. And then that little plus sign is single crochet. Then you chain and then single crochet. Now, that might look confusing at first sight, but when you read the directions and then you look at this, you go, oh, and your eyes just light up because you figured it out. Here, count those chains, because that means chain. That oval means chain. And then you chain up 2. And this capital T is a double crochet. Oh, excuse me, half double. If I was reading, I would know what it said. It's a half double. Okay? Then down here, well, I don't want to confuse you. But anyway, if you found what the V-stitch was, let's just say we figured out what the V-stitch was, you can, on here, write it down. Say a V-stitch looks like this, and then you could actually draw a little picture on this plastic. Anyway, that was a little tangent I went on. I'm sorry, but I just think putting them in this plastic page protector and then using a dry erase marker to write your notes down and say, like maybe you want to write, I made this for Mom for her 60th birthday, and I used such and such yarn and such hook. So you would know from then on what you used on here. Now you could, if you wanted to, write it on the actual paper, or if you want, get a sticky note and do it. So these are really helpful. Okay, so we talked a little bit about yarn storage, how you could leave it open. You got to ask yourself questions about where you want to crochet and how you want to store your yarn and where you want to store it. You also want to ask yourself if you have a special room or a closet, or you only have a shelf unit that you can use, or maybe you just have a couple of totes. That's fine too. Use whatever you can. If you have the means to get something to be able to store everything, do that. Make it yours, okay? And don't think you have to do everything at once. That will become so overwhelming, and you will stop enjoying what crocheting is all about. Okay? So, then we started talking about the patterns and what to do. Now, on another time, I will show you what I do with all of my labels, okay? I do something with them, and I'll show you that another time. But for now, let's just hold on to that in the comment section below. Tell me something, just one small thing that you think you'd like to start doing here, even this fall. You know, just a small thing that you'd think you'd like to do in order. And I'm showing you all around my thing. So if you want to come up with an idea, feel free to use it. Okay, but tell me in the comment section something that you think you'd like to do. Okay. From Patriots Happy Place, I hope you guys have a great day. Blessings to you. Bye-bye.